Let the rumors swirl all they want. I know what I've got, Dolly Parton once said with a wink when asked about her intensely private marriage. Now that her husband Carl Dean has passed away at 82, Dolly is breaking a silence she guarded for decades. Intrigued? You're not alone. Dolly's heartache is shedding new light on what really happened behind closed doors, and whether their endless love was more complicated and more riveting than any of us imagined. From the moment Dolly rocketed to fame, Carl Dean was the ghostly figure lurking in her story, rarely seen, even less frequently heard. Dolly recalled, "Carl told me plain as day, 'You handle the fame. I'm happy right here at home.' And so he vanished from public events, fueling rumors. Some fans joked he didn't exist. Others whispered that Dolly had hidden relationships, but Dolly always laughed it off. 'He's real. He's mine. He's just not into red carpets,' she'd say without further explanation. Little did the world know how profoundly their bond would shape her music, and eventually, how deeply she'd ache when he left. "I was singing before I knew how to talk," Dolly liked to say, remembering her Appalachian upbringing in a one-room cabin. With 11 siblings, Dolly learned resilience from day one. There was never enough money, but there was always enough heart. By the time she turned 10, she was belting tunes on local radio shows. That relentless spark drove her straight to Nashville, dirty laundry in hand. Fans only see Dolly's glitz on stage, but behind every sequin was a woman who overcame steep odds. "Growing up with nothing teaches you to dream about everything," she once said. And dream she did. Dolly's voice earned her a quick climb in the country charts. Songs like "Dumb Blonde," "Something Fishy," and later "Jolene" hinted at the heartbreak that might have lurked in her personal life. She'd sometimes tease the audience, "I've lived everything I sing about." All the while, Carl Dean barely showed up at public events. "I got to shine in the spotlight, and he got to keep me grounded." Their marriage was the paradox fans couldn't wrap their heads around, especially once Dolly's fame exploded, and Carl all but disappeared into the shadows. With Dolly's soaring stardom came whispers. Was Carl even real? Did Dolly have a secret fling on tour? People speculated that Jolene was about an actual redhead who once flirted with Carl. Dolly's personal assistant, Judy Ogle, also ended up in rumors that Dolly shut down time and again. "Lord, people love to talk," but Judy's like, "A sister to me, nothing more." Through it all, Dolly kept her bright smile, famously telling fans, "I might fall apart in private, but in public I'll always be Dolly." News of Carl's passing thundered through Dolly's legion of followers. She posted online, "Carl was my one and only. 60 years of love can't end with goodbye." Suddenly, Dolly was telling stories she'd held back for ages. She spoke of times she nearly gave up altogether, once standing in front of a mirror with a firearm, feeling lost and alone. She recalled, "My little pup, Popey, ran in, tail wagging, so full of love. That tiny moment saved me. I realized, if he cares enough to look at me like that, maybe I should too." Carl's steadfast devotion was another reason she kept going. Now the heartbreak is all too real. "I can't look over at the couch without crying," Dolly confessed in a rare moment of raw emotion. While Dolly's sparkly outfits charmed the crowds, behind the glamour she was battling endometriosis, overwhelming stress, and the pressure to outdo herself with every new hit. She once famously collapsed on stage, ignoring doctors' orders. Because she just had to do that show. Carl would tell her, "You're bigger than your troubles, Dolly. Just don't forget to rest." She didn't always listen, but later Dolly said, "If Carl hadn't been there, I might have burned, up like a star shooting through the sky." Over time, Dolly's fame veered beyond country music and into movies, business ventures, and philanthropy. Yet she always circled back to Carl. "The day I met him at that laundromat, the way he looked at me, he made me feel like I was already Dolly Parton," she recalled. When cracks formed in Dolly's world, whether from heartbreak, exhaustion, or rumor, Carl's quiet reassurance kept her grounded. Industry insiders say Dolly's fierce energy might have imploded without his steady presence. Now, in the wake of Carl's death, Dolly acknowledges a profound void, but she also senses his guiding hand in everything she continues to do. "Carl was never loud, never demanded attention," she reflected, "but his fingerprints are on my entire life. Dolly Parton has done the previously unthinkable. She's allowed us a glimpse into the marriage she once guarded like a secret." Carl's passing has left the world reeling, and Dolly newly open about the love and trials that shaped her. Their story reminds us that sometimes the strongest bonds are the ones we rarely see, and that heartbreak can reveal truths we never knew we craved. What do you think? Has Dolly's revelation changed your perception of her life and music? Let us know. And as Dolly might say, keep reaching for your dreams, and keep a little mystery while you're at it.